Hey, good Tuesday morning. We're talking about the ramifications, the effects, the consequences of sin, hopefully in an effort to cause God's people to avoid sin, to shun sin, to confess sin, forsake sin, to not allow sin to permeate and characterize their lives. Go all the way back to the first sin, which the first sin was God told Adam and Eve, do not eat of the fruit of the tree in the midst of the garden, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And of course, they did that. If we read the text, we go to Genesis 3:7, and it says that immediately the eyes of them both were opened. They knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together. Verses 8 and 9, the Lord comes calling for them. And then Adam's response in Genesis 3:10 is, I heard you, I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. So what is a primary consequence of sin? Maybe not the, but a primary consequence of sin. It's shame. It's shame. Many people go through life with shame. Now, we've conditioned ourselves as a society not to be ashamed of what we've done, not to be ashamed of our perverted sexual thoughts and follow through on those thoughts, not to be ashamed of all kinds of rude, lustful, lascivious, greedy behavior. Don't be ashamed. Be proud of who you are. But in reality, we all know from Adam and Eve that one characteristic of a sinful life is shame. Shame, and we can downplay it, we can define it, we can do all kinds of things to make it appear not so. But there's a reality of when we are faced with something that's holy, and certainly faced with the holiness of God, that shame is present when our life is inappropriate or our life is sinful. Shame. Just as Adam hid himself. I didn't go look at other translations to see if there were maybe other translations that may have replaced I was afraid with I was ashamed. But you and I certainly can apply shame into that situation. It is shame that caused Adam and Eve to hide themselves. It was shame that caused Adam and Eve to immediately want to cover themselves. It was shame, immediate regret over what they had done. And the reality is, when we sin and break fellowship with God or break fellowship with others because of our sin, then shame is a natural outgrowth of that. And so to avoid shame, we must avoid sin. Hey, live a holy life, and God will be pleased, and you'll be a useful tool in His hands. I hope you have a great Tuesday for His glory. Take care, and God bless.